Welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek, the Next Generation recap and rewatch podcast. Every week, myself, Adam Ordall-Quinnell, and my co-host...
Hey everyone, it's Al Hirt. What is up?
Mr. Al Hirt and I, we get together, we talk about Star Trek The Next Generation, we get caught up with the goings-on in each other's various cities in Southern California. We discuss an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, and then we recommend some kind of fucking media, and oh boy, I've got a doozy for you at the end of this episode.
Oh, yeah.
A real banger of a recommendation. It's going to be a good one. Also, the Star Trek The Next Generation episode we're covering this week is fairly bunk, one of the most universally panned episodes of the series, if Reddit is to be believed. That's right. That's how much I care about you, the listeners. And Al, I went on Reddit today. Something that I typically am loath to do. But first...
Actually, I just hit the 2-year streak.
The 2-year streak of checking Reddit?
Yeah, I think it was a week ago.
Wow, so every day you opened up what are your... Okay, this is good, because we needed to catch up, and I didn't want to talk about the weather like we did in take one. Little peek behind the curtain. I forgot to hit record the first time.
Maybe it could have been a blessing, you know?
Yeah, what's your Reddit diet like, Al? What subreddits are you checking out on the daily with your 2-year anniversary?
Mostly music, some specific artists too, like Flume, trap music.
So you go
dubstep.
So what are we talking? Like r/trap music, Flume,
r/trap, dubstep. I was just looking today. Sometimes I do like a little news, but the daily requirement is that you upvote one thing. Or you downvote one thing. So you just go scroll, you find a comment or something that you like, and then that's it. But you're right, it does require, opening the app, going through. It's just kind of like not my newspaper, I would say, because it's more like social media type of news where it's like you find everything that's, viral or gonna be viral, or it like you see it like be reflections of what all these other articles are saying. It's kind of freaky because now if you go through Reddit, Instagram, and Facebook, and like Twitter, those all are sort of saying the same thing at some point, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The big stories. So it's like how everybody just kind of has their own little corner of information. I guess I consider Reddit mine.
Well, yeah, but
it's also awful too because like, with there's more people on, so then there's more like niche fandoms getting more popular, and then it's like with those more niche fandoms, there's more people, and then there's more conflict, a lot of gatekeeping too. I've seen more lately.
A lot of gatekeepers. What's the most gate-kept Reddit that you're on?
Let's see.
Is it r/trap music? I assume that's film. I assume that's songs from the film Trap by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh yeah. No, it's. I'm trying to think. There's one that's like. They're called like anti-doomers or whatever.
Oh,
and I
used
to subscribe to them, but then I unsubscribed, and then I back subscribed, and then I unsubscribe. It's more of like a weird, they're more of a sense of like, oh, we make fun of everyone and this and that, and they just like are just. It's ironic because it's like they're making fun of people who are like seething and angry about things.
Yeah.
But then it's like in turn they're still kind of part of the chain too, because it's like they're reacting to their reaction.
Yeah,
it's just better to just leave it all alone.
It's a Jormungandr. It's a snake eating its own tail. That's like the Norwegian myth of Jormungandr, the snake that destroys and rebuilds the earth.
And it's like I've had some not arguments, but I've like said one or two things and been like, well, what about this? Or if you're gonna be this way, what about this? And it's just like, whatever. It's like that Tyler the Creator tweet where it's like, what even is internet bullying? Just turn off the computer and go outside. Like,
yeah,
there's more to it. And it's like, yeah, there is.
Tyler the Creator, I think, is just old enough to not be able to relate to actual kids.
Well, no, now what he's going through is he's distancing even more, but it's like he's very anti meta Ray-Ban glasses.
Yeah, he should be.
He has
Everybody
just been
should
constantly getting harassed, though, like in particular by fans with those glasses, and he's just like, I just don't trust anyone with Ray-Bans now.
Yeah, they should all be
that disgusting crap.
If you're listening to this on your Ray-Bans, I think that you should your Meta Ray-Bans. I think you should hit yourself in the face with a brick.
Or those Meta Oakleys too. It's just like
puke.
Why?
Pukeleys. Pukeleys. Why you give the worst people so much money to do what? Look like an absolute chode.
Footage. Like, people don't even look at the videos on their phone.
Look like an absolute fucking chode, man. Now, what I'm glad that we lost that other, because man, we got nothing to say. I'll tell you. Have you been to, since the last time we talked? You see any movies?
Let's see. Just I don't know, I've just been like going back and watching older ones.
Ooh.
I was hearing a lot of like, people doing callbacks and jokes to Austin Powers, so I decided to watch the first Austin Powers yesterday again.
I feel like I watched that when I had COVID. What did you think on the rewatch?
It was just, there's a lot of sexual harassment. I don't know.
Oh, really?
It
is?
aged.
It doesn't hold up in terms of
it's
woke?
It's not that it's like...
You're telling me Austin Powers isn't woke?
It's not. No, there is one scene obviously that everybody always iterates and comes back to when, like, what is it, Elizabeth Hurley's drunk or whatever, and Austin's like, no, I can't, you're drunk, like, that's not right, and it's like, okay, well, I guess so.
Good job, Austin Powers. He behaved.
Yeah, I think it's what still holds up, though, is the Dr. Evil character and like all those scenes and all those bits and jokes. There is like, it's not like the Family Guy cutaway thing, but they did a lot of the whole, they linger on stuff.
Yeah, because they do 3 versions of every joke. You see,
oh dang!
You see, most writers, what they do is they whittle down to the best version of a joke. But what Mike Myers and crew do in the Austin Powers movie is they take the 3 best jokes and they just say them in sequence. So it's like, and which is fine. And you see that a little bit in So I Married an Axe Murderer, one of the other movies he did right before all of that stuff.
And it's just, I don't know. It is. You see the formula a little bit at first, and then I think though The Spy Who Shagged Me, the sequel, is what people generally consider the best one.
Oh yeah, it's like The Godfather Part 2. It's like one of those times when like the sequel is better.
And then by the third one, Goldmember, the formula is like, oh okay, like this is just a random Austin Powers adventure. It's not like, oh shit, this is hilarious, or oh shit, this is something I haven't seen. So I don't know. It was interesting. I think, some of the jokes have like definitely aged.
Yeah,
but it still holds up. I was trying to watch Dodgeball too, but we were like a quarter of the way through that before we went and did something else.
There's no way that that is any more problematic than so many other things of the era. So I watched Mortal Kombat 2, speaking of movies that are way better than the first one. And I hated the first Mortal Kombat movie that came out in 2021, or the most recent Mortal Kombat movie.
They're related then, huh?
No, it is. This is completely? The sequel to that. Okay. And it takes place it feels like 20 minutes after the events of Mortal Kombat. Because,
awesome. Okay, that's good.
Because here's what fucking pissed me off about the first the first modern Mortal Kombat movie, and I think I probably even talked about this at the time on the podcast a little bit, but because Mortal Kombat is the story of an ancient tournament of champions where champions from various realities or universes fight for dominance of the other, right? And the first Mortal Kombat movie is about anything other than that. It's about both sides trying to make it so that the Mortal Kombat tournament doesn't happen. Yeah. Like, that's all it's about. They never actually do a fight in the thing, and then they're just like fight. They're just like, oh, well, I guess Mortal Kombat didn't happen yet, so we'll save that for... And then Mortal Kombat 2 is actually the real Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because all the original actors return, but some of them are dealt with in pretty hilarious fashion. Okay. But no, so Mortal Kombat 2, much better. What were you talking about before I mentioned Mortal Kombat 2?
Shoot.
What does Al remember?
It was Austin Powers.
Yeah, Austin Powers, the Austin Powers movies. Yeah,
the sequels.
Goldmember, and then the Austin Powers Spy Who Shagged Me being the superior, being the Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, there's Two Towers, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Two Towers is the best Lord of the Rings movie. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, arguably the best. Definitely.
Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, man, there's a lot. Aliens, I guess not Alien.
Yeah.
Alien. They're different movies. It'd be hard to pick.
It is literal apples and oranges.
It sure as fuck is apples and fucking oranges. Well, hey, it was good catching up. We got to save a little juice for the next episode we're recording after this, so we can't completely bare our souls and run through all of the trials and tribulations of the last 2 weeks. But right now, we're going to start our first official segment of the week, which is... What does Al remember? Al, what do you remember? To swallow weird. About...
Oh, okay.
What do you remember about Star Trek, the original series, Season 1, Episode 21, The Return of the Archons?
The Return of the Archons?
The Return of the Archons.
Gosh. Do they save like a race of people?
Well, yes, fair. You're getting there. So what if I told you that it opens with the cold open is Lieutenant Sulu and O'Neill are undercover, wearing clothing of a style worn on Earth in the 19th and 20th century, and dispatched to the surface of Earth-like planet Beta 3 to learn what became of the Archon, a ship that disappeared there 100 years earlier. Now, Sulu and O'Neill run into lawgivers, and then they are beamed up, and Sulu is retrieved. But before he falls victim, he is zapped by the lawgiver's staff. And when he comes back up to the Enterprise, he's like, "Oh, it's paradise down there." What? All right, so bitch, what if I told you
all of them?
What if I told you this is Landru? What do you think about that?
Oh, wait. So this is the one where they all praise Landru, and then somehow at the end, Kirk and the gang find out that it's all a big computer that's programming these people.
Yes.
And it's like not really, people would always think it's like a boardroom of like 12 or 15 evil people that are running this whole society.
Yes.
It's really just a computer, right? But I don't know what other gimmicks they get into before that.
Well,
they almost die, right?
So
multiple times.
So let's just be honest. So what does Al remember about the Return of the Archons is fucking not much, which is fine.
No.
It happens sometimes. So let's have a little fun figuring it out, okay? So what if I told you that one of the elements of this planet that they're on has been often satirized in movies? There's a series of movies based on essentially this exact trope. It's every year there's one day.
Oh, that's what is it called? Well, we've just run over it too really quickly. It was the Purge.
Yeah, it's the Purge. It's the Red Hour
scene.
And remember,
But then they do the red hour because the machine's telling them to, and that's how like they avoid conflict.
yes. So what you find out is basically I don't remember much either. Let me go down to Act 5 here. Act 4, Spock learns that Marplon was Tamar's contact. Oh, that's right. Remember there's like an underground resistance movement that's like fighting against Landru? It's like people who are not of the body. Remember, they say they're of the body.
Of the body.
You are not of the body.
Doesn't they? That's another episode, I'm pretty sure, where they try to like suffocate one of the bad guys in a cave.
Yes, absolutely.
The other person.
In this, I believe Bones gets turned into a zombie guy. McCoy gets taken away. And
it
then
gets pretty close. Yeah, I remember a lot of them are almost on the brink of death.
Well, and then remember, there's that great scene where Kirk acts like he's been fucking, or Spock acts like he's been done with the Landru computer, but it turns out he hasn't been. And good for him, because Kirk does not like being controlled by a computer. If there's one fucking thing I know about him. So basically what they end up with is, to that end, Landru's enslaved all members of that society and those who visit in a thraldom of happiness that is stagnant and without creativity. So he's saying, hey, Landru, you're not helping this fucking society by
you're
making them stagnant. Yes, you are hampering their development as a free society. They talk to Landru about it, and he's asking all kinds of difficult questions, and basically they can convince the computer that it is indeed evil, and that since it's evil,
it shuts itself down.
It's got to destroy itself, ceasing to function.
But no, we both really thought the best part was when Kirk just comes out of the whole Landru shelf or a cave or whatever, and he's like, okay, well, we're done. So you guys, conduct yourselves however you please.
Yeah,
Bye.
In Lower Decks, they do a second contact episode with this, where they go back and the people have started worshiping Landru again. Like, they turned Landru back on. It's pretty great. Pretty great stuff. Are you Archons? Yeah, so let's do this. That's what Al remembers about Star Trek, the original series, Season 1, Episode 21, The Return of the Archons. But Al, that's not what we're here to talk about in this Zoom call today. We are here to discuss Star Trek, The Next Generation, Season 2, Episode 22, Shades of Grey. Now, this...
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good title.
This is the season finale of Star Trek, The Next Generation. We'll get into why that's fucked up.
Stakes.
At some point. It really makes you think... This episode really made me think that they were thinking about writing Frakes off the show or something, or he had like a movie,
some contract
that he was going to get made or something, or he was like, hey, you got to let me direct more episodes. I don't know. But the episode starts kind of medias res. It's in the middle of what's going on here. And Riker,
it's like some scouting mission, right?
Yeah, it's a survey.
Ah, yes, geological survey on the planet.
They're the first survey team to come around these parts.
Which, again, should have just been Data or drones from the get-go, but I don't know.
Well, this is when Data was their only drone, so it's hard to...
True.
So they go down...
Make them do everything.
But, so it's like Swamp Planet, right? Like, it's like, what's the swamp? Dagobah? Is Dagobah where Yoda is in Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
This looks like...
That's right.
Looks like Dagobah. Like, you're going to see Yoda running around there. And who's down on the planet? It's Riker, and who else?
Geordi LaForge.
Geordi LaForge, chief engineer, and good for him.
Yeah, but Geordi is not the square, but it's like he's kind of the one that follows all the rules, which actually really helped in this situation because Riker was, I don't know, like lying down or somewhere.
Riker was just walking around. He was walking through swamp water, which, look,
I don't know.
Look, and this is one of the things we'll get to, because the brief look, because I went to Reddit a little bit for this fucking episode, because I was like, it's a clip show. What are we going to fucking talk about? It's like there's barely an A story, let alone anything else to dig into.
So I was trying to rewatch it and pick up like where, you know, the pieces actually, you know, kind of meant. It was clever in the way that they did produce this clip show, though, a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a sign of the times, too, because, like, that was a standard, right? You know, it's been a couple of weeks. People haven't seen this.
Well,
there aren't people, you know, rerunning all this stuff at their homes.
We'll talk about it a bit at the end, but there is kind of a specific reason that this ended up being a clip show. There's a couple of reasons.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, yeah, just because it was ultimately like budget stuff, but and then I'm going to talk a little bit about clip shows in general at the end here. But yeah, so they're setting up a clip show, motherfucker, clip show Star Trek style. So we got Riker and Geordi mucking around, and this is the other thing on Reddit. They said like that one of the big unbelievable dumb things about this episode isn't them zipping around out in space and like teleporting up and dipping down all around and shit, but it's the fact that they're so careless about just walking around and beaming Riker up when he's infected with a foreign whatever the fuck, you know.
I'd still be freaked out from like the dream monster thing or whatever that they ran into.
Yeah,
and
dude.
Everybody had just like collectively lost their minds on board.
Yeah, man, what the fuck? So
yeah, that was creepy.
So Riker, they're walking through, and also even if you're just in on Earth, if you're walking through swamp, like they're just wearing their regular Starfleet shoes and pants. Like they don't have hip waders on. Like if you're going fly fishing, you're going to be more equipped than these motherfuckers are.
Yeah,
like
seriously.
to get your feet wet. And of course, Riker gets cut by something under the water. They don't know what it is. And this is where you said Geordi's the rule following Johnny. He's like, we got to get you checked out. We got to stop the survey.
It's great how casual Riker is too. He's like, honestly, I don't think it's that, you know, that big of a deal. It's just a little.
It's just
little
like,
cut.
Yeah, I just cut my leg and then I've got alien swamp water leaking into it right now. It's probably fine. I'm sure the transporter bio buffers will take care of it.
Yes, that is the first. That's the first line of like, what is it? Not troubleshooting, but just, you know, making sure that everything's good on the ship. The biofilters in the transporter.
Dude, you gotta quarantine, motherfucker, COVID style.
Yeah, but Geordi's like, yeah, but we can't really risk you right now, even bringing you on the ship. So I'm just gonna call the doctor to come down.
Well, no, he calls the doctor and puts her abreast of the situation. Also, last episode of Pulaski has to be this fucking clip show.
Oh my god,
she does not get a good send off. I did not see anything about that on Reddit, but I'm nervous to look her up on Reddit because I'm afraid everybody's going to think she's the worst. And so Pulaski they're talking about beaming him up, and O'Brien says he trusts the biofilters, and she's like, nah, I got to go down. And no, they can't beam him up because there's a medical lock on the biofilter because he might have something in him. They try to beam him up even, I think,
That's
right?
True. They did. I think they did.
Yeah, but the biofilter's like there's something he couldn't filter out. So then she goes down, inspects him, and then she does the medical override to beam him to sick bay, and then boom, space. The final frontier. These and it really big Prometheus vibes, you know, big Prometheus vibes from them walking around. Like I was gonna say, even if I was just walking around a swamp in Louisiana, I wouldn't let leeches get to my ankles of my my work slacks and my low cut shoes. Like, and Jesus Christ!
At this point, this little gash, it's like red and like pink around it, and it's getting infested.
Clearly alien infected.
Yeah, and Riker's just like, oh my gosh, you guys, my leg just went numb.
Yeah, so they're in sick bay.
And it's like, yeah.
They're in sick bay, and Pulaski is giving Picard the rundown of what's going on with his number one, his most beloved. His number one. Number one.
Yes.
And so she's holding a very fancy prop over his leg, the spinning. It's like a tricorder that's got extra like circular pieces of plastic that spin around on it. And so what's happening is this organism, whatever the fuck it is, it's bonding with Riker at the molecular level, which is why they couldn't biofilter it out, right? And so the organism impedes nerve function. That's why his leg go numb. And honestly, Riker, oh, your leg went numb? Tell me about it. Because of my fucking sciatica. That happens all the time. He got his sciatic nerve fucked up. I'm sorry. They haven't figured that out in the future. Come on. Now, basically, if they don't stop the infection, it'll not just make his ass and leg numb, but also his brain and then kill him.
And his lungs numb. Ruh-roh.
Yeah, they're gonna make everything numb and dumb, and then he's fucking dunzo. Riker is no more. Frakes. Contract not renewed.
It's like, boom. From the get-go, it's already like a kind of a ticking clock, and then it's just... I don't know. I think this is just all the rising action we're going to get.
It's like a ticking clock if you don't understand how long it's going to tick before it rings, because they make it look like it's going to be a normal amount of time episode figuring stuff out, but then they draw it the fuck out with those goddamn clips that we haven't gotten to yet. This is still all new shit.
I think it's still pretty clever how they incorporate it, but yeah.
So she tells Picard that they need to get a sample of the organism that cut Riker's leg. And so, Al, we talked about this. I think I texted you about this. It's something I definitely wanted to talk about. It's Geordi and Data are going to beam down, and I went, hey, why in the fuck wouldn't Data beam down by himself? And then after I said that, Data went, I really should be beaming down by myself. So what did you think about all that? I love that back and forth.
I mean, yeah, that was totally right. I think it was just more of a... I don't know. I think it was more of just two friends kind of spatting and him just being worried about it, and just it was the whole, but I know exactly where Riker was there, Data.
Yeah,
but
so because
you can just tell him over the phone. It's not
Data in his.
It's not like you can just.
Yeah, can't they like literally? Can't they just connect with Data's Wi-Fi and just see through his fucking eyes? Like, can't Geordi literally sync Data's vision to his visor and see what Data sees?
He's like, okay, take a left, take a right.
I love how you say it's two friends spatting, like, when you're spatting with your buds.
You're just kicking it, you're just being assholes to each other just because.
So they find a very cheap effect. It's like a vine that's got a barb on it, and they make Geordi's like, it doesn't attack Data, and Geordi's like, maybe it wants biological flesh instead, and Data's like, hey, you gotta be careful, and he goes, I'm counting on those, and then the thing lunges at Geordi, and Data grabs it, and he's like, those android reflexes. It's like, Geordi, you trust, even though you were spatting with Geordi but moments ago, you trust him implicitly. You trust Data implicitly, with your life. That's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're homies.
They are, and it's indeed.
Like, he still technically, turns out he needed to be there anyways.
Homies.
Maybe.
No, they wouldn't have got that sample.
One hand to get the sample.
I do like how once Data was holding the vine, to get the sample, they zapped it with a fucking phaser to phase out what looks like a shark's tooth of like vine spine. And so Data comes back up, and he's basically saying there's lots of dead biological matter down there. Clearly this fucking thing kills with its razor sharp tree trunk attack. And there's a great Data joke, because Geordi says 1 more minute and we'd have been fossils, and Data's like, nah man, it takes hundreds of years, it takes millennia for fossilization, and Data's like, or Geordi's like, fuck you, I forgot you're not human.
Yeah, but that's the other thing I think though, is that it's been almost 2 seasons going on to 3, and it's like, we know Data's already has already done this bit way too often.
He should know when somebody's like, being incongruous, that they're probably joking.
Yeah, and it's just that's probably the other reason why people thought this was a little iffy, was just because they're kind of rehashing the same things. Yeah, but that was really well timed. There's a better timed one at the very end, but
oh sure, there's a couple great jokes in this. Data says he hopes he's wrong about the fact that this is a predatory symbiote.
And Picard's like, you're usually never wrong, Data.
Yeah, Data. He says, Data, I hope you're not wrong. You're never wrong. Picard is like, man, you've only been wrong that one time with the milking finger gloves when you got defeated by that asshole last week. And that's Act 1. Wow. Still no clips. Is this even a clip show, Al? Where are the clips?
No, it's definitely 50%.
I was promised a clip show.
No, it's more of like a Riker kind of love fest at the beginning.
It is a Riker strospective. It's a Riker It's a Riker strospective. And so we get Pulaski in one of the couple sets they could afford to have put together for this episode, her office. Picard is always like hovering over her shoulder, like, what the fuck? What can we do? And so she's basically saying she can kill the infection, but it'll kill the nerves around it and also kill Riker.
Picard's just like, what can I do? What can I do? And she's like, what you can do right now is back up and leave my office.
Get the fuck out of here. Even before that, he says, I know you'll do your best. And she's like, my best might not be good enough. And it's like, but it's like, because he kind of said it like, I know you're doing your best. But then the unspoken was, but could you please try harder than your best to save him? Like, it really had that. Patrick Stewart really put his actoring hat on for that shit. Riker and Picard have a weird, serious conversation about the dangers of space travel that I thought was really good and weirdly timed. And
seriously,
like this far into the series to get this basically like Riker, they talk about how dangerous it is. Riker's like, I can't believe this doesn't happen more often. And it's like, I don't know, lots of people have died. Lots of fucked up shit has happened in the last 2 years.
Remember when the saucer got fucking wine corked? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, remember when the wine corked happens and the 19 people died?
Instantly.
There is a good philosophical bit where Riker says, don't blame the thorn. Because Picard says, hey, some things can be benign out here and some things can be malevolent. And he's like, I don't think it's malevolent. You can't drop a hammer on your foot. It's hardly useful to get mad at the hammer, which I get what he's saying, but also
but I mean, the hammer didn't jump up at you, dude.
And also the hammer, like, this isn't a tool that you had decided to use. It's like you're walking around on it. It's basically like you're a dumb guy from Prometheus.
Yeah.
And you got Prometheus.
Yeah, and like you lean into the flower and then you see it open into some weird thing and you take a big old whiff even though you're on a different
or when like
alien planet.
Yep, you put your fingertip out with no glove on or with a very thin glove on and then the thing latches onto your finger like that movie Life. Did you ever see that with that movie Life?
There's got to be like a whole bunch of clips of people just getting in those situations over and over.
Well,
and
you
over
could
again.
do 20 or 30 of them just from the contemporary Alien series and even the old ones, I guess. But so Pulaski's like, get out of my hair. This is where she says that. She's like, get the fuck out of here, Picard. Yeah. You'll never see me again after this week. I promise. I'm out of here.
Seriously? She's like, I'm done with these weird ass cases.
Riker kind of does. Troy walks in on. Still no clips, by the way. Troy walks in on Riker telling a story about how tough his family is, and it's very much like a fucking Chuck Norris joke. He's like, my great uncle was bit by a fucking snake, and then the snake died a few days later because he was too tough, and then it's just like, oh, that's a Commander Riker Chuck Norris joke.
You said it like backwards.
What's it forwards?
The joke is my great uncle was bit by a snake. After 3 days of agony, the snake died.
Yeah.
Like, the punchline being like, oh, the snake died.
Yeah, that's what I said. The snake died because the guy's blood was too tough.
That was, I guess so.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm going to edit this episode, and I'm going to make you look like a real fucking asshole.
No, I'm telling you.
No, I'll go back. While we're trying to remember what I said 20 seconds ago, on my screen, I've got Riker having long spikes driven into his head. And
already?
Yeah, it's so funny because those spikes, well, I mean, it's 15 minutes and 30 seconds in. So basically they're like, hey, we've got to shoot it. What's the solve here, dude? What's Pulaski trying to fucking figure out, Al?
she's trying to like send electrical shocks right into his brain to help combat this disease in whatever way she can.
She's trying to stop it spread.
But yeah, she's trying to stop it spreading, but it's just so, I don't know, it's really funny for being how automatic everything is on the ship and all that. For some reason, the doctor still has to stick these 6 needles inside your head.
Seems like a very manual process when you have to have 6 10-inch needles stuck through your fucking head. And
yeah, they could just be lasers or something. I don't know.
And she's going to focus a frequency beam, and she's stimulating. So she's stimulating the nerves, because when the nerves are stimulated, it fights off the reproduction of the bad brain juice, whatever he's got fucking going on in there, right?
but at this point, it's already in his brain, or is it like
it's
in
getting
his
there?
back?
It's getting there.
It is getting there.
It's like you see that they show you a handy dandy picture.
Yeah.
They show you a handy diagram of his body with how far up it is. And
it's like, no, it's on his leg.
And so before that, though, before they even put the spikes in his fucking head, he's got a very, very sensitive scene with Troy, where she's like, I don't want you to die. And he's like, facing death is the ultimate test of character. If I do it, I'm going to do it with pride. And she's like, I'm sorry. Oh, no. He says he hasn't given up. And then, whoops, his body starts to fail because the shit is spread to his spinal column, which is how I fucking feel sometimes with my back problems, I tell you. And so, and this is when they're going to put a brain cage on him to fuck the neurons up with electricity, therefore stopping the spread of the bad brain stuff. They blast him.
They're trying to distract the brain, I guess. Yeah, and they put before, so it doesn't get infected.
They put the spikes in, and then this is where the clips come from. So the tubes you got to think about it like this: the spikes that they put in his head, that's where they're going to pump the clips in. You know, and that's when the episode stops costing them any money to make.
But I was thinking too, though, maybe it's like shocking certain nerves, right, to get certain memories. But then it's like
they do that later.
How do you remember? They do that later. I guess they don't know how they're navigating it right now because it's just a random memory.
Because his shit won't stabilize. Act 3 starts. Oh my god, his shit ain't stabilized. What's gonna happen? You know, Riker gonna die? Hisa Riker gonna die?
Like there's always the trope too of this show with having the amplitude and the wavelength being right for the frequency of the signal.
You got to be able to figure out the frequency and the amplitude. And if at any point you can have Data pull a bunch of little cards out and rearrange them to get to the correct frequency. Oh, mamma mia, that's a Star Trek: The Next Generation. So
then they got hit the right frequency, I guess, and now he's smiling sort of.
Exactly. So Pulaski tries some shit. He doesn't smile, but Pulaski smiles at him because she stabilized him, but he looks distressed as fuck still, and she's like,
he like yes,
a little bit, but I've sent him into a nightmare. What's the first memory we get? What's the first clip, Al?
It's the first episode, I believe, and it's Riker going to the holodeck, but then he's meeting Data for the first time.
Yeah, and Brent Spiner's Data makeup looks fucking crazy.
Yeah, but for some reason, this always just feels like I always mess up the first episode and like the first time we see the Enterprise crew.
Yeah, because remember they're like
in the movie.
Yes.
What's that called with Picard and Shatner?
Generations?
Shatner falls off the cliff. Generations, yes. I don't know why I always get these two mixed up. It's just because like they're both, the introduction of both is it's just so cheesy and it's just so weird.
Well, remember,
it's just burned a place in my head.
Remember in the two-part premiere of Star Trek: The Next Generation, Riker's not even on the ship initially. They had to go pick his ass up. They meet Q before Riker's even on the ship.
Yeah.
Like, can you fucking believe it? And so we're still watching Data and Riker walk around on the fucking holodeck, talking about how Data sees himself as superior. He's a bit of a humanicist. He's racist against humans.
And this is when it starts, the dread setting in of like, oh, this is really happening. Like they're showing his quote unquote best moments, or like, the first time they interact, and that
you're looking
literal memory lane is happening.
You're looking in TV Guide, seeing if they're announcing like a mid-season replacement show starring Jonathan Frakes on NBC or CBS or something. It'd be CBS, I guess. So they also do, after this scene, they do the fucking scene where Guinan and Riker flirt to show Wesley how to flirt.
Yeah.
My least favorite Riker scene ever, probably. I'm gonna fast forward through it here.
Seriously,
He's laying it on
I've just
so
been hopping
fucking
around
thick,
too because
bro.
I was just like, what's happening? But then it goes right into does it go right into the scene with Deanna Troi then?
Yes, it goes right into when Riker is going to leave to go be a captain of his own ship, doing some boring fucking survey missions. And Troy's like, well, usually I can read everybody's minds, but I can't read your mind. And so my job is to help people sort out their emotions. They both cry. Oh, Imzadi. Then it cuts to the fucking the sick bay, and Troy is looking at Riker, and she goes, "He's relaxed." That was not a relaxing scene. So then she says, one of the ladies says he's reliving memories, and Pulaski says that's a side effect of the process. So if you saw an advertisement, on late night TV for this process of like stopping a brainworm or whatever, if you saw it and it said like side effects, one of them would be like, you will relive your memories. Like these brain spikes will make you have a clip show of times that have been like stressful or sexual, because that's the next round. The next round he remembers the oily planet where Wesley almost dies, and everybody's dressed like they got like they're showing way too much skin, but in ways that are somehow not sexy. I love that. Like on that planet, they're all showing so much skin, but it like isn't hot somehow. It's very syndicated
and then
TV.
We cut to the girl in that red dress at the what is it called, the holodeck? But what was this? What was the thing?
I was going to ask you.
Was he like trying to work with the holodeck?
What was the thing with this? I think that like there was. It wasn't. He was testing out a new version of the holodeck. Yeah, because he even says this upgrade because they had the Binars, those little pulse-headed guys.
Aliens, yeah,
they had the Binars, dude. The Binars were helping them make their holodeck hornier.
No, but something happened with the holodeck, and I think the Binars were fixing it, and then somehow Riker was like kind of distracting the holodeck by using it.
Maybe. You'd have to Google it or something. I don't know. I just know what's in this clip show. I don't remember that. I'm coming to this as though this is the first episode of Star Trek The Next Generation I've ever seen. So he's remembering.
I think we blocked that out of our mind, though. That scene was really cringy.
He's remembering the time when he was in love with the hologram, and she's like, I know I'm a hologram, motherfucker. But I do like that the Binars are involved. I like those. The Binars are great. And somebody's going to write to us and be like, those aren't the Binars. And I'm going to be like, thanks for listening. You're the first email I've gotten at the email box. Now,
but the other thing too is though we get another cool of those trippy conversations of like a character talking with a holodeck asset, and just being like, you're not real, so we're just going to turn this off and go. And then the robot's always like, what do you mean I'm not? I know I'm not real, but don't I feel real?
Yeah.
It's always those fucking awkward conversations.
Yeah, he's like, how real are you? And she's like, why don't you find out, sugar?
Ooh.
We also get the time when Riker had sex with the leader of that country or that planet.
Yeah. And it's like, you feel like Riker's just this fucking...
Lothario. Lothario. And Troy even says like in sick bay, Troy's like, "Ugh, his emotions are passionate." The Naked Gun version of this scene would be like Riker has a boner in the thing, on the bed.
Yeah, there's. Oh man, but
Pulaski even says, "As in erotic."
Funny. Yeah, right. And Deanna should have just left. She was like, all right, I'm seeing way too much. This is so fucked up.
Well, here's the problem.
Right after we get to what is it? He hooks up with like the captain.
He hooks up with the lady who's running a planet. Then he hooks up with the Irish lady. Remember the Irish,
who's running, what is it called? A commune.
Yep, running a commune. and they have sex. He was going to wash her feet, and I guess that's code for sex in the future and the past. And
guy's got game.
He does indeed. But here's the problem, dude.
It should have been a clip of him just like hugging this like tentacled alien,
like something we haven't seen.
Like, all right, yeah,
dude, definitely fine. Yes, absolutely. I 100.
It's just like an animal.
I 100,000% agree with that shit. Now, we find out that, oh no, these horny dreams are making the virus worse. What?
Yeah, it's
oh man. So basically, his emotions feed the microbes. So then they find out that negative emotions kill the microbes or stop it, and sadness does that too. And so basically, Pulaski's going to refocus the beam to really bum Riker's brain out. And what are some of the bummer things Riker remembers, dog?
The first is absolutely hilarious. It's one of our favorite episodes when he's on the what is it? The ship with I was gonna say a ship with the Worf.
Oh, the Klingons. That's one of them, right?
Klingons, yes.
Yeah, yes. Is that one of the first ones?
That's
when
one of the bad
I thought the first one was Armus.
Oh, no, it was
Yar getting killed by Armus.
Tasha Yar getting
and I think it like they also do the scene where they kind of trick you. They make it look like Troy is like, oh my God, he's dead. And then it's about Riker, but then it shows that it's her kid that she had for a day. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
But then it shows Riker just standing in the background like, wait, you're reliving memories of just a time you watched somebody else go through something? What the fuck, dude? That's such a weird, it's out of place for the rest of the clips. It's really funny.
But it's, then we cut back to the medical bay. And Pulaski's like, well, shit, I mean, it seems to be
sadness
working,
hurts it.
Him feeling shitty memories. So she basically, I mean, she's asking Deanna Troi, like, hey, can you, like, hypnotize his head so he has just these shit
Tell
memories?
Him, you get in there.
Because, I mean, what else
I'm
is she
going to focus
there?
the beam.
Yeah.
You tell me what he's feeling. What's he feeling? Sadness. Negative emotions, sadness, inhibit the organism's growth. They refocus the beam.
Then it goes to the Klingon memories. Though.
I love that when he.
Because
how is that scene badass? So basically, like, it's the scene where Riker is serving on the Klingon ship and he beats up the second in command behind him, being the first officer. And how is that negative? That just proves he's a badass. Like, I don't think that that's negative at all. Then we get the great evil worm. Remember that? Now that's a negative emotion.
I think he was just scared.
Evil worm, tricked by an evil worm. That would bum me the fuck out, dude. I do love remember they show him fighting the old guy with the worm. And he does the kicks.
Right. Yes. Because he just was embarrassed. He had to get beat up by
one of the greats. One of the great kicks of all time. The kicking Riker kicks that guy right in the face like 3 times. Riker's stunt double is hilarious.
Yeah, but then it cuts back again to the medical bay, and turns out it's still
they reduced the growth rate, but not enough, as so often the case. They've almost got it.
And Pulaski's like, "What the fuck? Why isn't this working?" And Deanna Troi's like, "Well, it's as if the disease it's going through like its survival instincts and its survival emotions, because I guess it's seeing." Riker's daydream, I guess, of him kicking back and stuff and like fighting with the Klingons. So it's like
now she's saying we got to focus the beam. We got to stimulate the isolated primal survival emotions. It must be producing an endorphin that hurts the organism. So I can focus the beam, but don't know if he can withstand it. It's like, well, you got to try it anyway. And also in my notes, it say I want a silver blanket like that. They put a silver blanket on Riker. I want one of those silver emergency blankets someday just to see if it's really as warm as it looks. So Riker's totally fucked up. They don't know if they're going to get to it fast enough. He remembers that guy who was shocking Riker's titties. Remember that?
Oh man, that's probably my favorite clip of him, though. His face, and he's just like, open mouth,
so the guy was like, "We'll just do this to him now," and she grabs him with the glowing hand. I hate it when a guy grabs my titty with a glowing hand and makes me go, "Ooh!"
Oh, dude, this conflict was so good though, because it was like these people were addicted to drugs and it ruined their entire lives generationally, and then like the other people that were dealing the drugs used to take the drugs, but then like so many generations had passed that they actually knew that it was bad.
Yeah,
like,
dude, it's fucked up. And then we get Riker being absorbed by arms.
Riker's face.
We get,
Yo,
which is one of the fucking classic like weird. The Riker being absorbed by Armus is like one of the scenes that haunted my memory as a child when he's got like the oily face and he's like, ah.
No, the best line too though is Data, something's got me.
Something's got me now, and they're like we're gonna beam away, and they're like, no, we're not gonna beam away. Oh, we're gonna stop him. Oh no, if you try and grab me, I'm gonna kill everybody. Armus was a fucking real badass, dude. Then they have that. Remember that auto destruct sequence memory where it's like him and Picard have to like put the ship on auto destruct.
That was pretty fucked. Yeah, that was pretty fucked. I
just a rad montage of all the bad shit that's happened to or around Riker. I love that they include the shot of them blowing up the worm guy's head. That's a good inclusion.
I think it was another one was them escaping that Klingon ship altogether and all that shit blowing up. And the Tar Shiar being like, oh, I don't know if their molecules are through yet. Because Picard's like, what's going on? They're buffering.
Yep. And then Pulaski, they come out, looks like they did it. Riker wakes up with the spikes in his head, not terrified, which is what would happen to me. I'd be like, get these spikes out of my fucking head, dude. Get these spikes out of my head. So he's free of microbes. Riker and Troy and Pulaski have a weird post-op chat. She wants to run more tests. Riker does that dumb joke.
Yeah,
dumb Riker dad joke where she's like, has it affected your memory? And he's like, I don't know. I'm Jean-Luc Picard of the Starship Enterprise. And Picard says, Admiral Data, we've got to get the captain well. And Data's like, you can't promote me to Admiral. It's like, Data, you should know what a fucking joke is by now, dude. Even Chatty PT would fucking would recognize that as a joke, you idiot, Data. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's the clip show.
It just feels very...
What'd you think, Al?
And for a season finale, too, I think they were just rolling a bunch of dice and was like, okay, this character is
robbed of a season finale, dude.
So then we need some good clips. I don't know. It just feels like in that situation too, as plenty of people said, feels like season 1, early season 2 kind of deal of like, someone's sick for the week. And we don't even, like you said, we don't even have a B plot. They don't even get to like why the Vine
they don't go back to that planet. They don't.
There's normally out. They just leave.
So normally, if it was a normal episode, right? Because they do send.
They would probably
they do send Geordi and Data down, but they would spend more time trying to figure out what's going on the planet, and like what's happening on the planet would somehow inform how to save Riker, but they just don't have time for that because, as it turns out, and I think that this episode stinks out loud. I agree with everybody, but what happened was the studio had given them so much money for more expensive episodes, like the Sherlock Holmes episode and the Borg episode. I guess the Borg episode was expensive. You gotta do all them prosthesis and shit.
True.
And the special effects of the Borg cube and all that, right? So they didn't really have any money, so they made them give them a clip show.
No.
And I just would have sequenced them differently. So what they said is, we gave you the money for there's also, they show him meeting the Ferengi. So we gave you the money for those cool episodes. So now you need to give us an episode that takes you 3 days to shoot. And like the only way to do that without breaking union rules and shit and going way long on your days is you got to do clips. And so I mean, and the other thing was, I believe there's a writer's strike that was maybe happening at the same time, so they kind of had to make do. I believe. I didn't dig too far into that.
This feels like, when you have your homework due or the projects due at the end of the week and everybody's like, oh shit, let's just forget about it and figure it out later. And then it's Thursday and you're like, oh, we got to pull an all-nighter. And then you just make 2 things up and you put them in the middle. You're like, all right, Riker's going to get sick. And then he's going to get his memories triggered by this machine trying to get him better. And those memories will be the clip show.
We did it.
All right, genius.
Print it.
Let's turn it in.
Well, we got to shoot the stuff now, between stuff. Okay, yeah. But
for sure. But
be sure we can use the old swamp.
There wasn't even a debate. Yeah, it's like there wasn't even a debate of like, well, what about this or what about that? No, it was full steam ahead, first idea, first draft. This all seems clean.
People on Reddit really were, they're so irresponsible. They just beamed Riker up with this unknown organism in his blood, and it's just like, dude.
But it's like they checked.
Yeah, so that is...
They had
so I feel bad override. Even. Yeah, dude, I love when they do it. I love me a good medical override.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like they did all the precautions.
Right. She looked at it.
Plus, Data even brought up a question you had.
Yeah, dude, I agreed with Data. I'm as smart as a mandroid. That's for sure. So I feel bad even giving this one a rating, but of 5 little thorns, we both made the little thorn. Yes, if you have the video tier, we both made the. That'd be funny if I was releasing these on video secretly. If you had the video tier, you'll see that we were both made the little hook of the thing. Looks like a shark tooth that was on the vine. So I give it a 2.
Yes. Dang.
You're gonna give it less than a 2?
Like 1.5. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Well, it's like I try to gauge this into. Would I show someone else this, or if some random person walked into my apartment right now, which Star Trek episodes would I show
never
them?
This.
This is definitely very, very low on the list. So to the point where it's like, okay, I think I don't know if I would even watch this one again, because you
wouldn't know until the
clips, and it's like a medical,
they trick you,
right? But it's like a medical.
They don't introduce the clips until the end of Act 3, right? So then you're like, but now I want to see how he gets the fucking stuff out of his blood. God damn it, they got my ass.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to figure. You got to figure out how he gets better. That's how I will. That's how I felt the second time watching it, because I remember watching it, but then I was just like,
I just feel weird giving any episode less than a 2. For some,
I just feel like.
But no, you're right. It's only a third of an episode. So you gave it a 2. I gave it a 1.5. That brings us to our final segment of the week. Captain, Adam and Al are recommending things. I repeat, Adam and Al are recommending things. What are you recommending for us this week, Al? Always a surprise.
Well, I mentioned at the beginning Austin Powers, but I don't know, so playing Hollow Knight.
Did we already talk about how Brittany's playing Silk Song? Yeah, last week.
Yeah. But there was, let's see, I'm trying to think something in particular that's made me go like, wow.
Well, again,
I don't know. I guess just watch the World Cup. The World Cup's been awesome.
Who are you rooting for? Has your team made it to the final cards?
Or to the first cut? Yeah, I mean, I really want USA, Mexico. It's just USA still pretty young. And what's cool about this World Cup is that, like, it's a lot of legends. Final Cup, it feels like. So it's like this whole generation finally leaving and this new generation coming in and kicking ass. So there's a lot of new names. I don't know. I'm not really like picking a specific team. What I'm looking more forward to is, I don't know, Adam, I realize variety is the spice of life. So I would recommend watching the World Cup and getting into football this football season. I don't know why. I just figured, fuck it. Let's just do something new.
The idea of football/soccer in that it's like the game's always going to be like 90 minutes or whatever, you know? There's not as much starting and stopping as in American sports.
But it's so
very exciting.
So it does kind of drag though sometimes when it's like 0-0.
I heard Canada just won like 6-2. That would have been very exciting. Very
and then there's high scoring games. Yeah, it's like a big team effort to get the points, and I think that's like where everybody likes the camaraderie and the hype. Where I think the American big version of that I feel is football too. I mean, basketball's hype too. I mean the cup, or I mean not the cup, the NBA championship.
Yeah, I couldn't.
This year too. But I was just thinking, getting into sports again is like kind of fun. I watch whenever
I think I should get into sports, I just rewatch an anime that I like, and I'm like, okay, I don't have to do that. But so I
don't know. It depends, I'm like here and there. It's like not being such a
dude, I definitely nobody needs to gatekeep me from sports, bro. Like, I'm definitely just outside that gate going, that gate can so fucking wild. Chill. I'm cool with it. Don't need to go through that gate. I'm fine. I respect the other side of that gate. I think it's great. But
right. No, that's what it's funny too. They kind of intertwine in
I'll watch
ways.
I may watch that anime Blue Lock that's about a soccer team that has superpowers and stuff. That's would maybe be my contribution there. So for me, cool. I don't think I've recommended this yet. I'm gonna have a real stoned fucking grin on my face if I'm gonna shit-eating grin on my face if I did. But Iron Lung, I finally saw that. It was good. It was written and directed by that YouTuber Markiplier. I haven't seen Obsession yet, but that's like the third of the YouTube movies that came out recently between Backrooms and Iron Lung. And Iron Lung is based on a game about a guy in like a rickety submarine at the bottom of an ocean of blood trying to find out like why all the stars disappeared. And the only way he can see out is to like take a picture with a camera, and then you see a still image. It's pretty fucking cool. And you know how they did it was very interesting. Yeah,
really. Okay, because I started it and then I just said to myself, I don't know if I could watch Markiplier.
I don't know anything about him, so to me it was just like he looks like another character actor that I see and stuff, so it was good enough for me.
Well, if you didn't know, I was gonna say since you didn't know too much about him, I
thought he was fine. He definitely was it was the first time feature director kind of thing, and acting and whatnot. But no, I thought it was just fine. I like the concept, the gloom, the fucking doom of it, the vastness of it. Of the ocean of blood, but also in a little contained space. I would say it's like it's a B plus, and definitely worth your time. It's on YouTube. Okay. You got to pay for it, but it's good.
All right. Well, we should let's watch.
I'm definitely gonna watch Obsession. I'm waiting for it to hit my buddy's Plex.
That movie seems dope. I feel you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stream that one too. There's Toy Story 5.
I gotta eat Toy Story 5 food. I can't remember where it is, but there's Toy Story 5 food for that we gotta.
Oh, really? Probably IHOP, I would guess.
But anyway, next week, thanks for listening, gang. Next week we're actually starting season 3 of TNG. No break. We're just gonna roll steamroll right on into season 3. We're gonna talk about evolution, which is, I dare to say, an episode where Wesley Crusher is the problem, but also not super annoying. He's like actually like he really did a lot of growing up in the off season. Thanks so much for listening. Do everything in the bumper, and have a good one. Bye.
You all. Peace.
169. Nice. Trek in the Valley is brought to you by Adam Ordall-Quinnell and Al Hirt. The theme was produced by Al. The episodes are engineered by Adam. You can email the podcast at trekinthevalley@gmail.com, or you can search for us on Bluesky and Facebook as Trek in the Valley and follow us over there. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, whatever you do on your podcast apps. It really helps us out. And never forget, always explore strange new fucking worlds.